Today I'm going to be playing a regular game of Europa Universalis 5. We're going to go to war, we're going to conquer land, engage in diplomacy, trade, do construction, work on the economy, and all of the regular things you do when you start as any country in 1337. Except when our starting ruler dies, I'm gonna hand off my country to my heirs and my descendants and see if they can do a good job. Can they survive? Can they thrive? Will they be able to work with the setup that I gave them? Or will they spectacularly fail and horribly die to the hands of the AI counterparts? Most notably France and Bohemia, because let's face it, they're the only ones doing any actual conquering. So ladies and gentlemen, let's jump in as a country in EU5 and play as only one king. Alright, here we are in Europa Universalis 5, ladies and gentlemen, and I gotta say, I scoured the map far and wide to find the ideal country for this playthrough. Now, obviously, the first thing I took a look at was the age of the ruler, right? We don't want to play with someone that's 61, for example, and only get to play 5 years and not really be able to do too much, right? I had to find a young ruler, someone that's preferably under 30, so we could get 30 or 40 years into the game. And of course then I had to find a country that isn't usually that successful on its own, right? So any of the super big guys like England, France, Castile, Naples, Hungary, Poland, Bohemia, those guys were, out immediately. But you also couldn't play someone too small like these guys, because listen, even if I get them 4 locations, what are they gonna do after that? So that's why I settled on the Duchy of Wolgast, a medium-ish or small-ish country located in the northeastern part of the HRE, not that close to Bohemia, not that close to France. Sure, Denmark and Poland expand here sometimes, but not that much. And most importantly, the ruler is 19 years old, so we got plenty of time. So let's jump in as Wolgast. Alright, here we are as Wolgast, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, we are in the HRE, like I just said earlier, man, a fairly decent-sized country, young ruler. Additionally, we can also form Pomerania here, too, which is a tier 2 country, and not that many requirements to form it. We just gotta conquer a couple of provinces here that we do want to conquer anyway. So, yeah, man, let's play with Wolgast until Bogislav V Griff here dies, and, then hopefully, his heirs won't die. So, first things first, man, we got to do some research, marry this guy, set up the cabinet, and then, of course, we do need to get into it with, like, Stettin, Kamin right here, and hopefully even someone bigger, like Brandenburg and the Teutons. Now, we do already have an heir right here, which is our ruler's younger brother, but we got... Whoa, hold up. Partition inheritance? Oh my god, that's not something I noticed. Well, no turning back now. Obviously, there is a way to get rid of it, even though it says we can't, because all we gotta do is revoke right to inherit from the nobles, but I'm not even sure if this one works properly, man. Will it actually get split between his children, or is it something else? Frick it, we're gonna play on. Okay, not gonna marry this guy to anyone. Instead, we're just gonna go ahead and, marry a noble or something, or a lowborn. For our government forms, obviously, we're gonna go autocracy here right off the bat, and then in the next stage, I'm gonna go with the other one for crown power. Alright, estate stuff done. Didn't piss off the nobles that much. Alright, so it did actually end up royal marrying Bogislav right here to, I forgot who, these red guys down here, which in turn formed a marriage union, because I married the countess of that. Probably not that relevant for our campaign, honestly, but still, at least we can make him have a kid. Alright, looking at the diplomacy of the guys I want to fight, Stettin here has allied Saxe-Wittenberg, and these guys are... yeah, they're allied to these guys. Okay, we're good, nothing too bad. Goal, form Pomerania, become powerful enough, obviously. Something else we want to do as well is probably, where's our capital? It's in Wolgast. Duh. It's probably form our own market, man. Yeah. Otherwise, everything is cored up, but the cultures here are kind of weird. It's Eastern and Western Pomeranian, but also Kashubian. We're primary Western, but we don't have the capacity to accept these, so it's kind of weird. And obviously, if you guys didn't get it in the intro, man, once this guy dies, I'm just gonna go into observer mode and watch what our heirs do for the duration of the game. Everyone in the cabinet is freaking dying, man. All right, Parliament has come around. Kamen over here doesn't have any forts, so let's go ahead and call a Parliament right here. Fabricate CB on these guys immediately, just like that. And let me see if I can do something else, because there are probably laws we want to change. Well, I don't want to piss off the nobles too much. Okay, let's go ahead and declare war on these guys. Actually, wait, let me raise the forts first. All right, forts are up. Let's declare on Kamen. We're going to annex them, and, well, they actually already annexed their little subject right there, so that's perfect, and Rupin won't even help. There's the declaration. Let's go ahead and raise the levies, and we'll finally get all of our land connected, which is actually vital. Now, obviously, man, even if this guy dies, like, right now, that's it. That's it. No restarts, no nothing. We're going strictly as it should be. Okay, and we've absolutely crushed these guys. There's a full annex. Wonderful. Now, these are already a part of our provinces, so we'll annex them manually, and then we're just gonna wait for next parliament, man, to go in on Stettin, which, oof. Stettin has secured itself good alliances. Not even gonna lie. What about Brandenburg? Oh, Denmark? Damn. And they got Lusati as a subject. Oh, this is gonna be trickier than I thought, man. And the Teutons won versus Lithuania as well. Okay, already not that good of a start. Now, Bohemia is getting a coalition against them. I'm actually not gonna join. And hopefully, let's go with this here. And hopefully we can try and find an opportunity if the coalition does fight Bohemia. Well, that coalition did just fire, I think. Yeah, but there's not as many people in as I wanted. Actually, some of their allies being in that coalition might help. Does Stettin have forts? They have a really annoying fort in Stettin in EU4, which is what I was gonna say, and they have one here too. What about Mecklenburg? Mecklenburg has one as well. This war is gonna be tricky. Okay, now we can actually go with, oh, this one's free. Interesting. Joint ruling. Our ruler and their sibling will take turns. Ah, but no, we can't do that because once he dies or doesn't rule, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna go with royal decree. Simple, man. You know, Brandenburg isn't as bad as I thought, because right now, at least, if I had a CB, no one would help them. This is just because I don't have a CB. And their only fort is in their capital, which means I can take stuff over here. You do actually have to take all of the highlighted things to form Pomerania, which is gonna be tricky, because then I'd have to fight the Teutons. Oh, no. The province has been integrated. Ugh, it won't become our core. It's Eastern Pomeranian primarily. Where the hell is Western? They're both green. Oh, yeah, they're so expensive, man. Well, actually, no, Eastern Pomeranian isn't. Perfect. All right, we can go for the parliament again. Let's take a look at Brandenburg. Okay, now everyone will help them. Sure. What about Stettin? Okay, Mecklenburg won't help them, which is good, because they're the more powerful one. Saxe-Wittenberg does have a fort. Damn, this is gonna be tricky. Why doesn't Lunenburg want to help? Because they're blah blah blah. They're already at war. Can we do this on our own? We do outnumber them. Yeah, just beat them up, siege everything down, then stand under the capital. Yeah, we can do this. Okay, I'm trying to get some wars out of the way early, man. You know, because if we got time to chill, that's when I'll be changing the laws and stuff. All right, forts are up. Parliament approved claims. We got claim throne as well, but we don't really care about that. This is more beneficial. Yep, let's go. All right, I sieged them down before they could siege me down. What the hell was that? Tricky war, because they actually did beat my ass a couple of times. I split my army, and then they came in with 3k versus my 1k. So, yeah, I'm just gonna stay in until these guys are ready to hop out, or until these guys... Okay, well, there we go. We're done. Nice. Okay, that's an excellent war. No one's too mad. And we're growing, man. We are growing. Let's see the location ranks right here. I'm interested in... Okay, so we had 2 towns, and we just took another one. Well, pretty nice town. I like that quite a lot. Okay, let's improve, and then maybe we get into it versus some of these small guys right here. Warren, for example. Yeah, these guys are just allied with each other, these 3 guys. Yeah, we could do something like that. Then Mecklenburg, Brandenburg. We're all right. The thing is, both of his brothers died. So you better get to making bebes here, man. It's already been 9 years, man. It's already been 9 years. Shoot, I can feel the time ticking away. I just hope we're gonna be able to become, you know, meaningful enough to where people won't kick our ass when our heirs get to rule. Okay, he did create a child. Nice. Yeah, but as for Pomerania, man, I don't think we're doing it. We gotta fight the Teutons. They're just too powerful. Unless I can ally someone like Poland. Well, What about the forts? Really, what I only want from them is like these 2 locations, right? I still will have to siege down a fort, and they got 1,000,000 forts. Who would help me versus the Teutons? Who are their rivals? Poland and Lithuania. Let's improve with Lithuania, too. Luneburg's calling me into some bullshit. Of course, I'm gonna accept, you know, maybe we can get some favors with him. Oh, Black Death, dude, I forgot. Goddamn. Move court into hiding. Let's, what did expel the sick do? We can build pest houses. Segregate the infected is for disease resistance, right? But we're already such low stability. Okay, let's do procure remedies and present scapegoats. I don't have the money for a hospital, I don't think. We don't. We can do... Nah. And look, man, Denmark has already started pushing into the HRE. Oh, no. They got a core here? No, it's just occupied. Please don't tell me. No. I need that one. There's no emperor now, that's why. All right? Yeah, there's no emperor. Now is when they start pushing. You know, why did I decide to play in the only place in the game that doesn't actually work? I couldn't find any other young guys, man. We could have done Serbia too, because this guy's 25 at the game start. But it's because I've already played Serbia. I didn't want to do another Serbia video, you know? But that was the only other interesting one. I feel like... I also wanted to do some of these guys right here, but they're all republics. Yeah, tricky. Maybe Wolgast wasn't the best choice. I mean, we're already better than these guys usually are. Well, Denmark took this. They popped a bunch of subjects. Oh my god, this is like even worse than frickin' Teutons, man. Well, maybe not. Do these guys have forts? They don't have forts. Luneburg would help me. It's just that Denmark has way more troops than us. That's the problem. And they're gonna bring in all of these boys. Yeah, we can't do this. We just don't got the manpower for it, man. Oh, yeah, man. We're kind of trapped right now, dude. We're kind of trapped. The Teutons, you know, it seems like we can go ahead and fight them, man. I don't think I can ally anyone here either. I improved with Poland as much as I could. Yeah, I can't. So, on this other side is Denmark, who brings in Brandenburg. They just got their ass beat by Bohemia in something, doesn't matter, but look at the amount of troops they have, and the vassals, obviously. And then it's Brandenburg down here with all of these allies. It seems like the Teutons is the easiest, man. Either way, I guess I'll have to see. By the way, another parliament passed. I did change this to favor the ruler and this to buy blood, so we integrate a little bit quicker. But yeah, we're just kind of locked in right now. I don't know. Let's at least gather up money to create our own market, man. Let's at least do that. You know, these Gustro guys actually aren't anyone's subject, but they are allied to my boy Luneburg. And they got 2 fort? No, it's 1 fort. It's not that big. We could do it, probably. Luneburg actually can't get up that many people. This is a little opportunity, but it's not the one I want, man. They don't even have stuff in Pomerania. We don't really care about it that much. Alright, should have enough money to create a market now. Yes, in Wolgast, let's do that. Alright, making more money now. Now, one of my biggest problems in EU5 related to the start date, man, is that you can't really do asymmetrical warfare, right? Like you can do in EU4, especially for someone that's a huge fan of playing like the tiny-ass countries, especially in the HRE like me. For example, if we compared this to EU4, right? Let's say as Wolgast, we can pick up, you know, a couple of different minor allies, Luneburg, Hesse, Ansbach, Württemberg, someone over here. Like, we gather up 4 or 5 of us, and we could definitely hit Denmark, or Brandenburg, or the Teutons, or even, you know, something like this, for example, with the Teutons. Like, they don't outnumber me, sure, but all of their boys bring in troops as well, and they got 1,000,000 forts, right? So, for example, in EU4, let's say I had 3k troops, I could build up to like 15k, and sure, we'll be losing a lot of money and stuff like that, but we go in, quick in and out war, then you disband the mercs, fire troops and stuff like that. Whereas over here, man, the amount of levies you can raise is just the amount of levies you can raise, right? And unless you want to pay exorbitant prices for mercenaries, you can't really do that. So I'm glad they're changing up the mercenary prices, because look at this. Really? These are the companies we can hire? And sure, you can get like the leaders and stuff, but what does he bring in? What does he bring in? He brings in 4 footmen for 238 ducats? We can't do this, man. So I'm glad they're changing the prices on that. But yeah, right now, man, playing small countries is just, it's really hard to take down someone big. You know, unless you've allied the rival or the neighbor of the country you want to fight, no one's gonna come and help you. Either way, we gotta do something. So I do have a parliament, man. Let's do that. Fabricate CB. I'm actually gonna go in on Gustrov right here. They are allied to my ally, and they got 2 subjects of their own, but they're like literally the only nation we can fight. Brandenburg, once again, you guys know why it's impossible. Million allies. Teutons, same. Technically, you might think we outnumber them, but no. All of these guys bring in troops as well, and they got forts, and obviously Denmark is... Shoot, dude. Yeah, Denmark is Denmark. It's like I fight Bohemia. So yeah, let's do this. Still gonna lose some stability, but it is what it is. Now the thing is, since these guys have land here and here, I don't want to full annex them, or I could annex this, which means I would get both of these subjects, and then I could release a subject here and here. So we could try and do something like this. In fact, they'll already accept that, dude. They'll already accept that. Let's do it then. Let's do it. Let's not stay in the war for too long. Okay, so I got all of that and basically inherited these 3 subjects, right? Oh no, these are the marriage union guys. Okay, inherited those 3 subjects, so we can now go back home and release 2 more subjects here. Okay, well, more land than I thought we'd get, but not the land I actually wanted. Oh, it's one subject here. Okay, it was the same province, so we can't do 2. Never mind. All right, I've re-allied Lüneburg. And it's always moments like this. Look, Brunswick, Denmark, and the Rhine won't help out. Sure, Upper Bavaria comes in along with our tiny subjects, but this is doable. But now, no, CB, Parliament's gone. 3 more years. And there we go. Look, Parliament comes around and everyone's willing to come in. What about these guys? We could establish another subject right there that actually controls that Lübeck market. To Bremen and Goslar. How would I get there though? They don't got forts, or we can walk through anywhere in the HRE, can't we? Okay, what is this? Has anything changed here? Kaunas, Livonians, these guys, and then Livonian subjects. Nah. Still no. Still no. Maybe we go in on these guys, vassalize them, man. Maybe this won't be a bad idea. They're actually helping Bremen fight someone. Huh. Sure, we're getting kinda dangerously close to Denmark here. And they're strong. But honestly, I'd rather go towards Denmark than towards Bohemia. And look, man, Bremen doesn't have any forts either. Shoot. Frick it, let's try it. If we can walk over there, we can beat them. You know, this is something I was looking at, man. The Teutons actually want to ally me. And they'd most likely help versus Brandenburg. If I'm being honest, I am gonna accept this. Yeah, they would. Okay, we still can't beat them with Denmark and stuff, but there's a chance. Time is ticking away, though. Bogislav is 43. All right, let's not waste time, man. Let's declare on Holstein Plon right there. Definitely don't want to do that. Holy. There we go. Going in solo. All right, yeah, we can walk over there. Nice. All right, so we've beaten their ass. Let's actually tell these guys to integrate this. We've beaten their ass. So I don't want to take it for myself. I don't want it to be proper disconnected. So we can make Holstein Plon a fiefdom, which would give me a coalition of the Hansa, which is a landless country. We can make Bremen a fiefdom too, and that would give me actually a proper coalition of these guys. And Bremen is big, dude. It's like so tempting to do more things, but I won't be able to do anything else if the opportunity arises, so let's not do them, man. I'll just do these guys. In fact, you know what? I'll separate piece Bremen here for money. War reps, humiliation. There we go. And now I'll make these guys a fiefdom and take all of their money. Okay, so we control the Lübeck market now through a vassal as well, which is very nice. I mean, we don't really control it, but, you know, if these guys in the future annex these guys, it'll be their market as well, which is nice. Wait, what the hell happened? Brandenburg declared on Lüneburg. Aren't I allied to Lüneburg? Right? Yeah, I am, so they can call me in. They called me in. See, there it is again, but now they've allied Austria. Okay, is Brandenburg like... I didn't think it would be that hard, man. Yeah, we're just gonna have to do other stuff. I failed these guys. No Pomerania. No Pomerania. We gotta fight Brandenburg, Denmark, and the Teutons. No Pomerania. Damn, I thought it would be easier, man. Not to say we haven't accomplished anything conquest-wise. I mean, we're looking pretty good, actually. Okay, Brandenburg is actually no longer allied to Denmark or Austria. Upper Bavaria is far. Saxe-Wittenberg is right there. And then these guys are just the minor guys. Yo, this is doable. This is doable. Still only 1 fort. Me and the Teutons, and the Teutons as boys. It's finally doable. Yeah, we're doing this. Parliament is here. Teutons would join. 1 small guy, 2 small guys, 3 small guys, Upper Bavaria, which brings in 1 million people. They're really the problem, but I think we can still do it, man. And then Saxe-Wittenberg. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Taking a look at the provinces right here, this one is in Poland, which I'm not that interested in. Actually, not at all interested in. However, we can release a Kashubian subject from there, which hopefully Wolgast later will improve cultural opinion with and accept it so they can gain more cores. I don't know if the AI thinks like that, though. And then I'll just take anything I can. We gotta do it. We're not gonna get another opportunity. Bogislav right here isn't getting any younger, man. So let's increase ties to neighbors, fabricate CB, Brandenburg, and I'm gonna go right in for that right there. Forts have been filled up. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's time. There we go. Yeah, worried about this, but we gotta try. All right, so I'm interested in the Teutons mainly. Yeah, their subjects do bring in stuff. Okay, so we're good. Now, where the hell did this come from? Saxe-Wittenberg has that many dudes? Wait, they're their subjects, not Brandenburg's? What the hell? Spermberg. Grafenau. Why the hell are they here under Saxe-Wittenberg, though? Oh my god. There it is. That's who the problem is. Don't tell me they're the Emperor. They're not. Not a fan. Not a fan. We're gonna lose this. We are absolutely gonna lose this. Alright, actually, it's not that bad because I got these guys to stick to me. We're doing alright, man. These guys, they're full stacking and they're stacking on 1 fort, which is good. They're attritioning and it takes them quite a while. If we can hold out enough to where we can... I mean, shoot, we can even peace out now, man. We can even peace out now. However, I do want to take quite a lot. Probably about this much, honestly. Yeah, probably about this much, because anything more than that will get a big coalition. We can't do Mittelmark as well. We could go for Prignitz, too, to get connected to this vassal down here and actually give it to them. So, yeah, this is my target. So, if I can... Oh, I can already do that. Let's knock these guys out. Where am I standing? I'm down here. Let's go back to here, and I'll knock these guys out. Okay, so Saxe-Wittenberg is out, so that's a little less troops for them. We almost even... Well, actually, we do outnumber them. We just gotta offer Upper Bavaria enough money to where they hop out, but I don't want to siege race them on this one, or do I? Nah, they're gonna get it before me, even if I yeah, stick to this, I think. Upper Bavaria isn't willing to accept anything. How many people do we got, like, right here? We got, like, 8k. We're about the same. I gotta go in here. If I walk in, it says I'll win it. Will I really win it? I do got professionals. I did win it. Nice. Now we go to Brandenburg. And they're willing to give it. Well, that's what I want. That's what I want. And I'm not gonna make them break any alliances because this was easy. Okay, cool. So let's give the rest of Prignitz to Prignitz right here. There we go. Subject actions, seed province. Perfect. And now I'm gonna go ahead and create these guys. No, where are they? Arnskone? Is it those guys? Yeah, it's those guys. They'll be the Kashubian guys. Perfect. So let's create those guys. Create subject, custom, Arnskone, fiefdom. Nice. Are they Kashubian? Let's see. They are. Nice. And the rest, I mean, it's gonna take a while to integrate. It's 4 of them. Let's see right here. Let's do the 2 that we already have in ourselves. And then if we create a subject here, this is all mishmash, man. No one is gonna get any cores. Frick it, I'll keep them for myself. But this is dope. We're finally looking like a real country, man. I just wish we could have done Pomerania. What about Denmark? Is anyone willing to help? Nah, Teutons will never. Yeah. Now, we do have a little bit of coalition going, and that's fine. Austria wants to ally me. I'll take that. I will take that. Hey, man. Not bad. Actually, not bad. This guy's 52. I feel like we got 10 more years with him, man. I feel like we got 10 more years. Brandenburg, the truce with them runs out in 4 years. There is potential we could hit Brandenburg again and actually take Mittelmark from them. Ah! I jinxed it. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just hope time doesn't tick by on this. It does. Okay, there we go. We've stopped, and there we go. Now we got Duke Otto Griff in charge, our first heir. The country didn't split, even because of these laws. I think he was the only child, but okay. Well, we've played, how much is that? 33 years as Wolgast, and we did honestly manage to accomplish quite a lot. Okay, now it's time to step back and watch how the Griff dynasty, let's take a look at the dynastic map mode. Yeah, these guys are a lot more powerful later on, aren't they? I feel like they're also somewhere else. But yeah, that's everything we've managed to accomplish as Wolgast, man. Honestly, we got the economy up and running pretty nice. Built up quite a lot of buildings. I did a bunch of roads here as well, so control, at least over here, isn't bad. I got guys protecting maritime trade. I got an actual standing army, which I'm not going to tell anyone to be in charge of. That's up to them. And yeah, coalition, really not that bad. So I feel like these guys could accomplish a lot. Hopefully they don't break the alliances that I've set up for them. And hopefully they don't get hit by Poland, which isn't that powerful, or Denmark. However, we do now border Bohemia, so that could be dangerous. Okay. This is what Wolgast has ended up looking like. In fact, let's all make a mental note of this. We got this, these two subjects, and then this subject and this subject. We'll check back in about, I don't know, 50 years or something, and see how these guys have done. But that's it for me playing Wolgast for now. And there we go, folks. We've entered observer mode, and we can unpause and let them do their thing. All right. And just a little quick intermission right here. It'll be cool to see how the world develops as well. Not just what Wolgast does, but, you know, we can always click on them, see if they're involved in any wars, see if they're happy, you know, the income and stuff like that. I will jump in as them as well, so we can examine everything and not just look at stuff from afar. But yeah, I think I've left them off pretty good for where we found them. Alright, so the year is 1401. Time to check back in on the Duchy of Wolgast, and we can see, and you're getting my first reaction here, by the way, that they're at war with Denmark. They've done something that I couldn't. The anti-Denmark coalition, ladies and gentlemen. Just Denmark, Warren, and Frisia versus, what you call it? Brunswick actually is leading this, Wolgast, and then the 3 Wolgast subjects right here. So, you know, they're actually doing a pretty good job. Aside from that, man, what I can notice is they've annexed their subject Prignitz over here, which is good. And they've annexed this subject as well. Let's take a look at other subjects. So, these guys are still there. These guys down here are still there, and then the Kashubian guys are still there. So they've annexed 2 subjects, which is awesome. Economy is actually doing great. Economy is actually doing great, which is awesome. They're making more money than I was. Obviously, it's been 30 years and stuff like that. Let's take a look at the armies. So we do we got regulars? I wonder how. Yeah, it's less regulars than I had. Okay, so that's not that much. So yeah, they've also lost this, as far as I can tell, this location, and this location to a Brandenburg in Denmark. How, I don't know, but that's actually not that bad. Okay, so far the heirs, man, and it's still the same guy, by the way, who doesn't have an heir. Okay, who gets Wolgast then? I wonder. Maybe his brother or something, but there's no heir. This is going to be interesting to see. Maybe there'll be a union or something. But yeah, that's what it's ended up looking like so far. Aside from the losing of the 3 locations, these guys aren't disappointing me, man. They really aren't disappointing me. Okay, these are levies. Yeah, they've built up more galleys, which is nice. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. That's our first checkup on Wolgast. We'll let them do their thing versus Denmark right here. I would say they could be getting stuff, but really it's all Brunswick that controls the thing, so I don't think they'll gain any territory from this. But hey, not too bad, man. Not too bad. All right, keep going, boys. I'll see them in 50 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the year is 1451, and if you're not already surprised by the name of the country that we've played, well then get ready to be surprised about what they look like, because this is our glorious Wolgast, ladies and gentlemen. These boys have done us proud, man. These boys have done us proud. So now we are the electorate of Wolgast. That's right, their position in the Holy Roman Empire has been elevated to electorate after, well, who seems to have disappeared right here? Bohemia, Saxe-Wittenberg, which is basically Saxony, and Brandenburg are still here. Mainz is still here, so Trier has disappeared. And then who am I blanking on? The Palatinate. The Palatinate has also disappeared, so they've been replaced by Aquileia and ourselves, of course. And yeah, that means that, our country rank is, well, actually, it's still a duchy, but yeah, you know what? Never mind. Let's get into the nitty and gritty. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. They've expanded quite a lot over here, man. I don't know if this was done in that initial Denmark war that we took a look at. I think it was. Obviously, I step away, so I'm just as surprised as you are. But look at the amount of territory that they've taken over here and over here too, man. This little bit that was owned by Bremen and a bunch in Denmark, and even on, even on this island right here. So Wolgast is looking really, really strong. Let's take a look at institutions. Have they embraced institutions? They should have by now. Yep. Renaissance, banking, professional armies, everything is embraced. Let's see what they've been researching. So, yeah, okay, they even researching meritocracy. I did some stuff for them over here. This is what they're doing right now, I guess. So, yeah, they got the armory, they got the men-at-arms, they got the cannon, they've been doing banking as well, which is awesome. Renaissance too. Obviously, third, slot right here. They went with Privy Council, which is awesome for their third reform, making a very nice amount of money, if I do say so myself. They are exploring stuff. They're exploring down here. That's very interesting. Okay, so we'll guess this might be doing a little bit of colonization as well. But yeah, as for other things, man, the vassals, these guys are... wait, who are these guys? Okay, yeah, it's still the same guys, but they've grown them, which is awesome. These guys are still there, and then these small guys are still here. Markets are good. They're chilling. Yeah, it's awesome, man. They're looking so good. So they haven't lost any territory. In fact, they've gained quite a lot. Let's see. A lot of it has been cored up. Have they accepted culture? So they've accepted... well, actually, I did this, but they accepted Markish as well. Holsatian, Brandenburgish, Saxon, these of course are super cheap for them to accept, but they have started tolerating Kashubian as well, which is very nice. They are actually doing a lot of things, man. I'm very surprised. A nice little standing army we have going right here as well. Decent bit of levies that can be raised. So honestly, man, I can't fault them for anything. Really, the only thing I'd do is like eat up some provinces over here just so the border war isn't as bad. Control is looking decent. Capital is still in Wolgast, and alliances still allied to the Teutons, which I established for them, but they've also allied Saxe-Wittenberg, which I think they did almost immediately after I stopped playing as well. So they're looking real good. They're voting for Bohemia, so maybe that'll keep them friendly with Bohemia. Obviously, we can't see what they're interested in or what they might do. No CBs right now. A little bit over Fort Lament. They're looking really good, man. They're looking really good. We'll check back in 50 more years, and I expect to see even more good news. This is awesome. I love it. Alrighty, folks, it's been another almost 50 years. Let's take a look at what the electorate of Wolgast is up to. Who can they improve? They can finally improve cultural opinion with Kashubian. Now, let's take a look at that before that. So, have they accepted it? They still haven't, but that's okay. So, zooming into Wolgast, they've actually expanded even more. That's awesome. So more conquest over here in the peninsula. I think there was still a little bit of Denmark left up here, so that's nice. More conquest down this way, and taking a look at subjects, we have still Holstein, still those Kashubian guys, still those small guys, but now we got another new guy over here. As we can see, they've expanded quite a lot in where Bremen was earlier. So yeah, man, Wolgast doing a good job. Obviously, still an elector in the ever-relevant HRE. It can't look like this in 1500, man. It can't look like this in 1500. It'll be fixed next batch, I hope. So, yeah, we got the Milan as the elector. That's very interesting that they voted for Milan. Right now, Wolgast is voting for itself? Yeah, well, we could see Wolgast become the emperor, man. I mean, you know, it's actually surprising to see that apparently countries, well, this is a one example, but apparently they need that small of a push to become as successful as they've become. But yeah, economy, man, looking amazing, making quite a lot of money. Standing army is actually looking pretty good. It's still about the same as earlier, but we got some nice fleets going over here. They really should annex this other subject. They're not annexing. Oh, actually, they are annexing Holstein right now as we speak. That's awesome. Still doing a little bit of exploration in Upper Guinea now, so I don't think they're going to be colonizing, but they are exploring, I guess. And yeah, still looking pretty good, man. They're doing some construction, taking a look at the integration level. So yeah, this is like recently conquered and stuff like that, which is awesome. There we can see some lost land down here to Bohemia, actually. And when we take a look at it province-wise, man, we had all of Neumark earlier and all of Uckermark as well, but there we go. We do have some lost land to Bohemia. Alliance situation is, they're allied to Hungary, and actually Hungary, interestingly, has expanded up here. I don't know how. As well as Sweden. Okay, so no threat from the north. Köln and still Saxe-Wittenberg. Interesting. Now, the ability to form Pomerania is still here, and they only need... Yeah, they just need these 2 locations from the Teutons, man. I wonder if they'll fight each other. Teutons are fairly powerful this campaign. I'll give them that. But population of 2 million, man, looking really strong. Actually, one of the strongest countries around. You know, if you take away France and Bohemia, this is actually an excellent achievement for Wolgast. So, once again, I was going to say the Griffs, but it's not the Griffs. It's the von Württembergs right now. Chugging along real good. Not disappointing me so far. If I see Pomerania, that would be like the ultimate achievement for me. But every time we check back, they are doing better, which is what we want to see. So there we go. We'll let them hang out for another 50 years. I'm hoping to see subjects integrated, and I'm hoping to see this be green instead of yellow and be the Empire of Pomerania if they become the Holy Roman Emperor. I don't know. No, probably not. But they can elevate themselves to kingdom then, I think. So I guess we'll have to see. We'll check back in 50 years. All right, folks, it's been another 50 years. And by the way, I don't stay like this. Obviously, I'm in observer mode while I observe. I just jump in as Wolgast when it's time to talk. However, even though Wolgast is actually the 15th biggest power in the world, how the hell did that happen? The situation is not so good anymore, and I did anticipate that this could happen because, listen, man, sooner or later they were gonna get encroached on by the bigger powers. Obviously, we got Sweden in the north, Poland over here, Hungary down here, and Bohemia, and now France is coming in too. So, as far as I can tell, Wolgast has lost some land. So at least stuff that was their cores, they've lost stuff down here, stuff over here, you know, which we conquered early on, and then this over here. A big portion to Hungary, as we can see, a little bit to Bohemia, and over here to Verdun, which is more than obviously a subject of France, and then this little bit right here to Norway. But aside from that, man, how are we actually the 15th biggest power in the world? We are still Duchy rank. We got the ability to form Prussia. There we go. We've lost so many provinces, man. We were 29 out of 31 for this. Now it's 19 out of 31. We can do Mecklenburg, obviously, which is same tier, but yeah, 15 biggest power in the world. Actually, I'm not mad at that at all. What do they have going for them that's so good? Oh, well, Wolgast has become the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, ladies and gentlemen. I had almost nothing to do with this, man, aside from the fact that I grew them a little bit. But they became an elector on their own. Obviously, they can vote for themselves. Everyone is still voting for them. So, you know, this actually might have been a result of them losing all of this land due to the fact that they became emperor and that they were actually willing to defend certain countries that I guess Naples or Hungary or France wanted to push into. But yeah, that's one of the reasons. Well, that's the reason they're number 15th greatest power in the world. But yeah, man, standing army, actually smaller than earlier. Navy's about the same. We got 5 of these guys right here. They're doing 6 books right now. All of these institutions embrace too, so that's nice. In the economy department, making more money than earlier, obviously, as we can see. So yeah, man, you know, they control the Lubeck market now as well, which is actually pretty good for them. But yeah, this becoming HRE Emperor might have been a detriment if that is how they ended up losing that land. But you know, still the core of the land right here, very nice control. We can also see that they. Wait, how do they have that high control? Are they... Yeah, they got some really high control in towns, and they only got 1 city right here as far as I can see, Lubeck, but they have urbanized quite a bit, at least right here around their core. So the electorate of Wolgast, now the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, Ulrich II right here, that's still the Württemberg dynasty, still doing pretty good, man. Still doing pretty good, aside from the fact that they've lost land, but you know, a country of this size, man, obviously they can't do anything if France or Hungary or Bohemia or maybe even Poland decide to come in. So I guess we'll have to wait another 50 years and see if they stay the HRE Emperor and see if that keeps being detrimental to them because, you know, the number of Imperial Princes is shrinking. Sure, if Bohemia hits these guys, they're not going to bother. But if someone like Naples or Hungary or France does, they're most likely going to get involved. Over in this department, still, who the hell is that? That's still these small guys that I got for them, still a vassal, allied to Sweden and Austria. Yeah, they might have even been helping Austria in what Hungary has been doing right here, and that's how they ended up losing land to Hungary. But, yeah, it's just, you know, a double-edged sword. They're still doing pretty good, but not as good as they were earlier, aside from the fact that they're HRE Emperor. Still, not mad. I'm not disappointed about this at all. I'm still very satisfied with what's going on, so we'll check back in about 50-ish more years. But so far, I gotta say, my heirs and my descendants doing me proud. All right, it's been another 50 years. Give it to me straight, Doc. Boys, you're not gonna like what you're about to see. Wolgast has lost more territory, man. Wolgast has unfortunately lost more territory. I think the boys are doing everything they can, man. They're still Holy Roman Emperor, but there's even fewer electors now. Look, there's only 5 electors. The number of imperial princes is down. The HRE has never been smaller. Bohemia is just gobbling it up from the inside. And then you got Hungary coming in from the southeast and, interestingly enough, the northeast as well. France coming in from the entire west portion. Naples coming in from the south. I don't know if I already said that. And this is what it's looking like. Teutons and Livonians have actually completely disappeared. We'll examine the rest of the world now too, but yeah. They've just lost a bunch of land over here, man. In fact, some of the stuff we originally conquered for them and some of the stuff that they originally had even when the game started. And yeah, it's just not looking good. They keep defending the empire and they end up losing land. They get declared on and stuff, so it's really not looking good. But, you know, this, I think, is just a byproduct of the HRE, man. Now, obviously, we knew Bohemia would be successful, but, boys, even if we'd played anyone else in the HRE, man, I think this would have still been the same outcome. You know, we might need to repeat this in 1.1, hopefully, if the HRE is fixed, or, what the hell happened here? Dude, there was a massive Bulgaria here. Where did it go? You know, we might need to repeat this, or maybe it was a mistake on my part, choosing to start in the HRE, but everywhere else I've already played, and there was no young rulers, man. There was a couple in some minor Russian guys, but So, I think, man, with the way we set them up, you know, if we didn't set them up the way we did, they would be dead by now. So still, even though they've lost a lot of territory, they still get a lot of respect from me. But aside from that, man, economy, still doing all right. Professional armies is good. They don't got people in the cabinet, interestingly enough, can they? There are no people they can get in the cabinet, which is actually horrible. Population is also down from the all-time peak of like 2.3 million and stuff. This is what the Reformation looks like, so not too powerful, at least not yet. Sweden is Lutheran. Yeah, I'm just sad for them, man. France, you know, Bohemia, Poland, interestingly enough, and Denmark, no, and Hungary of all nations. I expected these two guys to be a problem, but not Hungary. Yeah, it's interesting. If we pop back out into the world, we can examine some other stuff. So we got a very powerful Vladimir up here, which realistically, honestly, I've never seen Novgorod disappear, and they haven't yet. They still exist, but let alone to Vladimir, dude, that's actually crazy. Golden Horde intact as usual. Oh, later Jin has formed. That's awesome. Japan has blown up. Sengoku Jidai is still happening. Another thing I really dislike about the EU4 start date is that these guys are building-based countries and not actual daimyos. That's a nice color split in India. I like that quite a lot. Sultanate of Somalia. Massive French colony over in Congo, man. Mutapa's really big. Yeah, sure. Yep, that's definitely what Portugal would call someone. South America is almost completely colonized. North America is getting there too. Yeah, that's the rest of the world. Okay, we'll check back in 50 more years and hope that Wolgast is alive. Oh, buddy. Alright, folks, so it hasn't been exactly 50 years just yet, but I do feel like I had to check in for this one because not only is Wolgast in an even worse spot that we left them off, but they're also fighting a war versus Hungary. in the Hungary Wolgast war. Hungary declared on them proper, man, and has brought in Bohemia. So the two of the Naples from Daily. Two of the biggest countries over in Europe have literally just declared on Wolgast. Now, it's not that Wolgast doesn't have aid. They got Peruzzi and Velser, the two banks helping them out, along with Norway, who's bringing in Iceland and Orkney. And then, once again, it's literally, you know, banks and trading organizations along with Norway helping, whereas on the other side, man, it's these guys. Since this is a declaration directly on Wolgast, man, we got some stuff occupied right here by Bohemia, some stuff by Hungary. I feel like, you know, if these guys don't care about the coalitions, this literally could be the end of Wolgast. It could be the end of Wolgast. They got, you know, taking a look at the HRE, they're not the emperor anymore. Well, actually they are. Yeah, they are still the emperor, even less, you know, princes in the HRE, but it doesn't matter, man. Look at what Hungary is doing right here, and Bohemia too. It's sad. It's sad, but this is... I'm not gonna blame them. I'm not gonna blame Wolgast. I'm not gonna blame the Griffs or the Wurtenbergers right here. Yo, why is this guy mogging us? It's just how it is, man. It's just how it is. Very sad. Very sad. I'm gonna let it run some more, but just be prepared that the next time we see them, well, we might not. Dear family and friends, I don't want to have to call it, but what kind of quality of life are we looking at here? Time of death, 8 a.m., January 19th, 1657. If we go over to Europe, folks, you can barely see that Wolgast exists, but he's still alive. The electorate, or should I say Holy Roman Emperor of Wolgast, does in fact still exist in the small town of Segeberg. Only 9,827 people live there, but they do exist. Folks, the Holy Roman Empire barely exists as well. Only 18 members. Wolgast is still the emperor. In fact, we have Holy Roman Empress Ilke von Seeberg. I don't even know where she came from. I guess women can be emperors. I guess they passed that law or whatever it is. But this is what it's looking like. They fell to Hungary. They fell to this French subject, to Sweden as well, to everyone. And this is where they're left. I don't think there's really any need to watch this go on any further because we all know what's coming. But listen, they ended up with... Wait, how can they have 10,022 people, but this only has 9,827? Where are the other 200? That is everything they have, right? Yeah, it is. Do they have a subject? They don't have a subject. But yeah, that's where it's gonna end for Wolgast here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there's no need to take a look at the economy or the armies or the markets or whatever, because it's literally a one location minor country. So yeah, honestly, man, even with the setup we did right at the start, I didn't think that I made them that successful to where they would survive so late in the game. But it just goes to show, man, every country needs that little boost right at the start. And look what they accomplished even without me, man. They grew more than double of what I left them with. They became an elector in the Holy Roman Empire, then the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, and they still are 300 years after the game starts, man. We watched these guys for 300 years, and honestly, I can say that I'm proud of them, man. Because if the whole situation with the Holy Roman Empire wasn't like it is right now, I think they could have had a pretty good game, man. You know, if these outside attackers or Bohemia don't do this, they would have probably continued expanding a little bit in the HRE, maybe even into the Teutons, and they could be looking, you know, about as big as Hungary, plus Mecklenburg, plus Verden, and plus, you know, Denmark right here is. So they could have been a pretty decent sized country by this point if the whole HRE thing doesn't happen, man. But yeah, we might have to repeat this experiment once again, ladies and gentlemen, when 1.1 comes out, if the HRE is fixed, or if or we might just do it in a different region entirely. But I did want to keep it you know, in Europe. So there we go, man. We played as one king in Europa Universalis 5. Well, not king, a duke, but you get the point. And then we watched our descendants rule our country for 300 years. Once again, if you guys don't know, an idea I originally got from Laith, who I think he got from Koifish. So now I'm doing it in EU5 as well, so shout out to them guys. But yeah, that's what it ended up looking like. Had we played someone bigger, like bigger at the start, like Portugal, Serbia, Bulgaria, Denmark size, they probably would have survived. But shoot, I even wanted to go for one of these two guys, and even they're gone, Galicia and Bohemia. So I think that's all I have to say about that. So did they do me proud? Honestly, yes. Did they end up bigger than they were at the start? Obviously not, but hey, still massive respect to Wolgast, man. Let's get some 07s in the comments. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, man, make sure to leave a like, comment if you want to see more shenanigans like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, that's it for me for now. See you next time.